I was at the right age at the right time when I saw The Empire Strikes Back. And decades after I saw it, it is still clear to me that the lightsaber duel at the end of The Empire Strikes Back is still the best duel in all of Star Wars. And I know what you're saying. Like, what about The Phantom Menace? What about Revenge of the Sith? Heck, what about Return of the Jedi? And some of you out there might be saying, well, what about New Hope? I love all of them. I really do. I just feel like the lightsaber duel between Luke and Vader in The Empire Strikes Back is the most iconic moment of Star Wars, of a million iconic moments. I think it's the best. Join me as we live in the past and we revisit why this confrontation remains unmatched in its emotional intensity, its cinematic mastery, and really its narrative significance. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, directed by Irving Kershner, it's not just a sequel, it's so much more. It was released in 1980. The film deepened the lore of the Star Wars universe, and for many, it set a new standard for sequels in Hollywood. There are so many scenes and moments that you can talk about when you talk about The Empire Strikes Back, and there's so many scenes and moments that you can delight in. But in my opinion, the heart of the film lies in this raw, intense duel between Vader and Luke. It's a battle that's more than just clashing lightsabers. It's something that has resonated throughout pop culture, not just with fans of Star Wars, but people outside of the fandom. And it holds up as one of the great moments of the franchise. And in my opinion, it's probably my favorite moment. So let's break down this epic duel. First, let's talk about Darth Vader. He is really the epitome of cinematic villains. And in this duel, his presence, remember, put on your 1980 glasses. His presence is more than just physical, it's psychological. There's this mystery surrounding Vader. His calculated movements, his deep voice, his towering stature creates this aura of invincibility. And he's not just a villain, he's this enigma, wrapped in black armor. And I really think that it's this mystery that adds layers to this fight, making every swing of his lightsaber not just a physical threat, but a psychological one to Luke, and it just keeps building and building and building to the climax of the duel. And the stakes of the duel are monumental, and that's not to say other lightsaber duels don't have stakes. They all do. They're fighting for their lives in every circumstance. But for me, the stakes of this duel are monumental. Luke, driven by a mix of bravery and just being naive, he faces a foe who represents his deepest fears and, unknown to him at the time, his lineage. The weight of this battle goes beyond winning or losing. It's really all wrapped up in Luke's journey, his confrontation with a truth he's not ready to face, and the fate of the galaxy. The audience, privy to Luke's, underdog status, we sit on the edge of our seats, feeling every moment of the struggle. Narratively, I feel like this lightsaber battle is the best because of those reasons. The storytelling, where it's at in the trilogy, the original trilogy, it is reaching, dare I say it, perfection. I can't believe it. It's truly this perfection of narrative storytelling. But let's talk about the cinematography. It's masterful. The lighting, the color palette, they're not just visual elements. They're, of course, storytelling tools, and all films try to do this. But the stark contrast between the dark silhouette of Vader and the brightly lit figure of Luke, it just symbolizes this clash of course, darkness and light, evil and good. But the use of shadows in the dimly lit corridors, throughout the different environments, from the carbon freezing chamber to other places within Cloud City, it creates this atmosphere of uncertainty and fear, and all the environments feel unique and different. And it just creates this deeper psychological tension. And you see, what's amazing is you see iconic image after iconic image. They're found in the sequence. But you couple that with the sound design. And I don't know about you, but I've seen Empire Strikes Back so many times. I have memorized Ben Burtt's work where it's almost like, how you can memorize the dialogue of a film? I've memorized the sounds of this sequence and really the whole film of The Empire Strikes Back. Ben Burtt's work is extraordinary. The hums, the clashes of lightsaber, they almost feel musical. It's this crazy symphony of tension and anticipation. The sound is so iconic that it transcends the film itself. It becomes this cultural touchstone. And not only do you have the sound effects going on, but you have John Williams throw in 100 miles an hour with this score that is iconic, powerful, truly amazing. And those two things together is just this auditory brilliance that adds this profound layer of visceral realism to the battle. And it makes every swing and block and decision and moment, it just feels alive. And I love that about this duel, and really about the Star Wars franchise in total. When Star Wars is at its best, in my opinion, it's in these duels that you see in many of the films where all the stakes are so high, the sound design is so amazing, the music is just incredible, the choreography is just perfection. I feel like The Empire Strikes Back is doing that. Now listen, I'm a Gen Xer, right? I was a kid when I saw The Empire Strikes Back. I didn't know what was coming after. I didn't want to believe that Darth Vader was Luke's father. And that's it. I mean, the scene really comes to, or the sequence comes to its fulfillment when we have the reveal, I am your father. And I remember walking out of the theater as a kid, and I remember talking to my dad saying, Dad, this can't be true. Is this true? I didn't want to believe it. I was 6 years old. And I think it might be one of the most iconic twists in cinematic history. And this moment, in some ways, it redefined movie storytelling. The psychological impact it had, especially on, you talk to all sorts of young people, no matter what generation they're in, when they see it, it has an impact. It really, really blows kids away when it happens because they're so invested. And if they haven't seen the prequels and they're getting to this moment, it has really big, it feels like the stakes are so high. It's really mind-blowing to kids. And that's why I won't show the prequels first. I know that's, some people would say show episode 1 through 6, or dare I say 1 through 9. I show 4, 5, and 6 first, and then we go to the prequels. And it's, this reveal I think is so magical. I don't want to taint it in any ways and ruin it. I found it hard to believe when I was a kid. And I really feel like it's a testament to the character development and narrative craftsmanship of the film. It's not just a twist. It was a moment that challenged our understanding of heroes and villains. In many ways, this duel is not just a high point of The Empire Strikes Back. I think it's a defining moment. I can't believe I'm saying this, in 80s cinema, and maybe beyond the decade of the 80s. It's definitely a defining moment in the Star Wars franchise. It's combination of like emotional stakes, cinematic technique, narrative impact. It makes this really a timeless masterpiece. It's a duel that doesn't rely on necessarily flashy effects or fast-paced action. There's slow moments within the duel as Luke seeks out Vader and vice versa. It really is leaning on great storytelling, character development, emotion, and it proves that sometimes less is indeed more. It's always enjoyable to relive these amazing moments in film history. I'm so curious what you guys think. I know there'll be some people that go in different directions, say, no, the duel in such and such is better. For my money, it's this duel. This is the greatest lightsaber duel in all of Star Wars. But with all that said, going back and reliving these moments is such a good reminder of why we fall in love with movies in the first place. Hey, as always, thanks for watching and living in the past with me.